Hi everyone, it's Jun Oppa here. Today we will learn how to say or in Korean. We have two different ways to say or. One for linking nouns and one for linking verbs. Let's look at the first one. For nouns, you attach the particle ina after the noun. Basically, you attach na or ina after nouns to list choices. You use na after a vowel and ina after a consonant. So the structure is noun 1 plus ina plus noun 2. Let's see some examples. 아침에 빵이나 밥을 먹어요. In the mornings, I eat bread or rice. Here you can see ina after 빵, the first noun, which means bread. 빵 ends in a consonant, so we use ina. Then we see 밥, the second noun, which means rice. So it means bread or rice. 어머니나 아버지가 요리해요. My mother or father cooks. Here you can see 나 after 어머니, the first noun, which means mother. 어머니 ends in a vowel, so we use 나. Then we see 아버지, the second noun, which means father. So it means mother or father. There is an important grammar point here. Particles like 이가 and 을을 are omitted when you use 이나 for the first noun. For example, in this sentence, you can see it's written 빵이나 밥을 먹어요. Not 빵을이나 밥을 먹어요. Because 을 has to be omitted when you use the particle 이나. And there is another way to say or for linking verbs. Simply, you add 거나 to a verb and then another verb comes right after it. 집에서 쉬거나 공부해요. I rest at home or study. Here you can see 거나 after 쉬다, the first verb, which means to rest. Then we see 공부하다, the second verb, which means to study. So it means rest or study. 우리 강아지는 먹거나 자요. My dog eats or sleeps. Here you can see 거나 after 먹다, the first verb, which means to eat. Then we see the second verb, 자다, which means to sleep. So it means eats or sleeps. There's another important grammar point that you need to know. With particles like 에, 에서, 에게, it's usually more natural to use 이나 by itself and put the particle on the final noun. 우리는 산이나 바다에 가요. We go to the mountains or the beach. 집이나 학교에서 공부해요. I study at home or at school. 선생님이나 부모님에게 말해. Tell your teacher or your parents. Now, let's move on to some practice questions. I read a magazine or a newspaper. 저는 잡지나 신문을 읽어요. I buy strawberries or watermelon. 저는 딸기나 수박을 사요. I drink milk or water. 저는 우유나 물을 마셔요. I go to the sea or the mountain. 저는 바다나 산에 가요. I play soccer or I swim. 저는 축구를 하거나 수영을 해요. Please call me or send a message. 저에게 전화하거나 메시지 보내주세요. I sleep or I listen to music. 저는 자거나 음악을 들어요. I meet a friend or I study. 저는 친구를 만나거나 공부해요. I ask my teacher or my friend. 저는 선생님이나 친구에게 질문해요. I want to travel to 제주 or 부산. 저는 제주도나 부산에 가고 싶어요. Today we learned how to say or in Korean. That's it for today's lesson, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thank you for watching.